Good morning. It's James from Pipe Doctor Home Services. It is Tuesday morning, June 2nd. Can't believe it's June. It's crazy. Gotta make a new playlist for the new month. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. I am on my way to a supply house to go pick up some pipe for a job later on today. Just left my second call of the day, but today's video is about my first call with our favorite brand of high efficiency combi boilers, intermittent hot water. Customer called in last week. It's a returning client. We've been to them several times before, so I'll let you guys check out the video. There will be a part 2, so touch back with you shortly.
What time it is. Let's get this thing cleaned up. All right, so we got another one of these. Story of my life lately. So what we got going on is intermittent hot water. And what I noticed was, with running the faucet, we have the burners turning on and off, on and off. You'll see the flame. It'll light up and then it'll go out. So what I want to do is, I want to do a service on this boiler, because it seems like it's been a little bit of a while since we've done any type of maintenance or flush on it. But while I'm doing that, I want to take the igniter and flame sensor out, see if they're pitted, if I can clean them up a bit, just so I can get this unit to stay lit. So I'm just prepping and setting this up, which you guys have seen me do this a million times. Okay, so let's give ourselves some cold water. Same thing I always do. I fill with cold water to the outlet side of my pump so that I can pre-charge this hose with water. What's going on? Upcoming job in an hour. Oh yeah. Busy day today. Got a lot going on. Yeah, you could see the condition of the condensate drain. It's just going into that. The main control board is very amber in color. Wow, somebody really chewed up their thermostat wiring here. Yeah. Look, it is what it is. Alright, so we'll get this up and running and then we'll cut to, removing that in a minute. I reached out to Vito to see if they wanted anything to do with my 1,000 sub giveaway that I'm going to be doing soon, but I haven't heard back from them. I'm just a small-time creator. This whole thing is such a mess. Let's take a look and see. Now, in my previous video, working on this specific manufacturer's system, someone asked me during my regular service, do I remove this? And the answer is no, I normally don't. Yeah, you can see how it's like almost like red. Alright, so we'll get this cleaned up. Clean it up gently, and then we will reinsert it. It doesn't look like it's badly pitted, but it's definitely just coated. Yeah. Alright, let's clean this off. If it was up to me, I would love to rip this whole thing out and start from scratch. Yeah, when I was running the kitchen sink, I was fluctuating between 90 and 95 degrees. So it's like the system was coming on just enough to give a little flash heat, and then shut back off. So it's not like, you know, super cold water. It's not like street temperature coming in from the street. You know, which I think, if I had to guess, is got to be in the 50s. Now that it's starting to warm up in New York, our street water temperature is starting to warm up with it. But even though it's the beginning of June and we've yet to have any actual June weather, well, we did have a stretch. We had a week where it was like 80 plus degrees, almost 90 one of the days, but still. All right. Get the end of this one a little bit more. No error codes being shown with this unit. No lockouts or faults or anything like that. So it doesn't realize that it's not working the way it's supposed to. Okay, so get that back in there. You don't need to hammer these screws home. All right, so let this flush run for a bit. I started it at 8:05. It's been almost 10 minutes, and it looks decently clear so far, but we'll let it keep going, and we'll see what happens. We were here last year. The other Mike was here, and it looks like he replaced some sort of gasket. I think it's a circulator gasket. It doesn't look like it was these, because these are like pretty dry rotted. So we were here last year in April for that. The year prior, in 2024, we were here and we installed these purge valves, these flush valves, because the system didn't have them. So it looks like it was 2024 when we had these installed, and we did the first chemical tankless flush. So it hasn't had one done in 2 years. We are located in Jamaica, Queens, so, you know, we are on city water. So let's see what the outcome. So far it looks decently okay. I don't see anything overly crazy. Pull the trap for the condensate, just to see what that looks like. Yeah, a lot of crap in there. Get that one. Let's take a look at our air inlet filter. That doesn't look too good either. So we'll clean this one out as well. And then while we're letting this flush, I'll go grab my combustion analyzer just so we're ready for that. And then we'll see how she operates. One thing I like to always check too is to see how our piping is outside. Yeah, it's all right. Ideally, I would like further separation. I also don't like that this is directly beneath a window, but you know, with them being so close together, the exhaust gases can get sucked right back into the unit. I would have loved for them to have come over and up away from all these windows. I mean, there's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12 windows, 13, 14, 15 windows on this side of the house. But all right, I didn't install it, so I think I just want to check, make sure our gas pressures are good. So I have my dual port manometer made by Fieldpiece. hooked up to the gas coming into the unit. So if we turn this on, we can see we have about a little over 7 inches in water column, 7 3/10. So gas pressure is good. We're going to now, it's been a half hour, so we're going to shut off our tankless flush. We'll rinse the rest of this chemical out of there, and this unit should fire up and run, knock on wood, without any hiccups. Now that we've cleaned the flame sensor, we've flushed the internals on the unit, the heat exchanger for the domestic side, we verified gas pressure. I should not be a moron and actually close the incoming gas. So let's just shut that screw. Hold her all the way. There we go. It's locked in nice. Open that up. I'm gonna unplug my pump. And then what I like to do is shut the cold water valve, keep the hot water valve open to rinse some of this out. It's just a descaling solution, so it's not like there's anything that's unsafe in there or anything along those lines. You could see the color of the water. It's not too bad. And then what I do is I open up a faucet upstairs and let that run for a couple minutes just to make sure the rest of the solution is out before we actually fire the unit up. So we're going to do that real quick. I love when I do a job like this, because when I turn the water on to flush, you know, the rest of the chemical out of the unit, the customers always go running over to the sink or whatever I put on, and they're like, it's not hot yet. And it's like, I know, the unit's not on. I'm literally just running water for the sake of run. or the best is I'll put the water on, you know, to just let it run, and someone will come by and shut it off, because, you know, natural human reaction, you see something running, you want to turn it off. It's too funny. I have my unit plugged in. Hasn't kicked on yet. This little red light on the control board has come on. I got nothing else. Very interesting. I did not change or do anything electrically to this unit. So let's see if I can verify that we have power at this outlet. I know we do. There we go. 122 volts. Is there something funky going on with this outlet though? Because I didn't get that like right away. It's very interesting. My power coming in. So let's see, one splits off for this side of the switch. One splits off for this side of the switch. So let's check that and verify that that's good, so you guys can see a little bit better. Do have 122 volts coming in to the board here. There's a fuse inside this compartment here that is not blown. So I have 122 volts coming in, so we verified that we have good power. It's just this board now doesn't want to cooperate with me. Which, let's see, this is the NCB 180E. I do have a replacement board. I just don't know if it's, I know it's for the 240, but I don't know if it's interchangeable with this one. So, all right, so wonderful news. Just so you guys are aware, we have voltage coming into this unit, right? Which we verified that already with 120 volts. Down here next to our jumper for the low water cutoff, there's these 3 prongs, which we could actually just get them from the screws on the front. And you can see we only have about just shy of 10 volts here. This should have 24 volts. So the transformer inside our board is shot, and our board is shot, which is very interesting considering that, I mean, you guys saw the whole thing. I didn't do anything with that board. The only thing I did was clean some filters, clean the flame sensor and the igniters, and flush the system out. So now we gotta swap this board out, and then we can get the system back on and see what's going on with the homeowner. Obviously, nobody's happy about the situation, but it is what it is. And we are going to be replacing this control board, which I thought I brought it down. Did I not bring it down? Why do I always do this? I always am putting stuff down. Part number is 300 122 62 B as in Bravo. Funny enough, I just did one of these last week, and here I am doing it again. I did one last week, and then I actually, when Mike had gotten back from his trip, I had asked him, can he order more? Because I used the one that was on my truck. And so he had picked them up. We had them at the shop. I had left it in my material bin for like a couple days. And then last Friday I went to another one of these brand for no hot water, and I was freaking out because I was like, no, I left the control board at the shop, and if I need it, that's gonna be no bueno. Luckily that one on Friday was the water pressure sensor. Went bad. So I made sure to put it in my truck so that this way I had it, and go figure, I got lucky. It's nice when you have what you need. And it's not nice when things don't want to cooperate. Come on. Jeez. Crazy how this turned into such a more expensive job. But unfortunately, that's the way it goes with these systems. My guess is this unit hadn't been plugged in or unplugged in a while. And so maybe the spike in voltage is what caused our issue. Not even a spike in voltage, just being unplugged and plugged back in, which is crazy to think about. Always dropping screws. So we only have one more thing to unplug, which is this switch on the right hand side. And in my opinion, the most annoying one. That one with the fuse goes on top. Okay. And then we got to get the switch out of here, which is a pain to do without breaking it. So let me finesse this, and then we'll get the new board in place, and I'll show you guys plugging it back in. Okay. So you can see the color difference between that one and this one. It's pretty intense. Okay. So there's these tabs here that you need to push in to get it to pop out from the back. So if you use a screwdriver and keep pressure on the back side of it, you should be able to work its way out. I had done one, I think like a year ago, where I was prying it from the front and I broke the front corner off of the switch. Okay, so this black one with the fuse goes onto the top, and then this one goes onto the bottom. So let's get this thing remounted. How does that look right there? That seems decent. Why'd I leave my screwdriver on the floor? You know, I do these things to myself, and I can't complain. I cannot complain. Self-inflicted. So now I gotta use my little thermostat screwdriver to at least get myself caught here, so I can let go. Okay. So I ain't dropping that board. No way. Okay, that's good. I wonder if that's me. Did someone try breaking into my truck? Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, I change these things quite frequently. That's why we carry so many of the parts on our truck. I had just done one 2 weeks ago for a client. He was having an issue though. It was a funny one. It was either the board or the fan motor up top.
Okay.
Like the manufacturer doesn't know which one.
Okay.
Like the error code that was given was for one or the other. And his board looked just like yours. It was all dark amber color. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you might as well just replace the board anyway, and then we'll see if that's the right one. And we got lucky and it was the right one.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. It's just the way it goes with these things. We got that one in. Where am I missing you from? Up here. Which means I'm missing one more. Where are you?
Oh, that's it. It's already swapped out.
Yes. Luckily, everything, almost all the components are plug-in. So it's not like you have to hardwire or anything like that. Okay, and then we have our TT. I know.
My husband actually went away back, I think in February.
Right.
And with how cold it was, the lines broke.
Oh, yeah.
The hot water line. No, I think the cold water line broke, and I fixed it.
Okay.
Like the next day, which was my birthday, I got home.
Oh, wonderful.
Like a party there, and I called him. I was like, I also want the hot water line.
Yeah.
I did multiple trips to Home Depot. I cut the pipe itself. I was like Googling everything.
Oh, nice. Is that what all the torch equipment is over there?
It was like, you could solder, right? I was like, yeah.
That's great.
I bought like cups and stuff. I cut the pipe. I fixed it. He was like, you're unbelievable. Because it was not late at night. It was like almost 11 o'clock. I was like freezing cold.
Right.
I was like, it was my birthday. I was screaming doing it. You know, like half of all the pipes and stuff. But it's like one of the worst problems you can have. I was thinking about going to my gym to shower.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. This winter for us was insane. I mean, our phone was just nonstop. The whole Well, that already looks a lot better. Welcome back, boiler. Welcome back. Just gonna let it do its thing first before I open up the hot water. I always forget that this terminal, which I gotta read and see what that one is. That one doesn't get anything. All the dip switches are the same. Yeah, everything was down. So everything's down on the dip switches here. Alright, so. Oh, it'd be helpful if I went and turned the faucet on. Let me do that. Alright, let's see. I got flame. Now the question is, will the unit stay on or shut off again? Yep. So you could see the flame went out here. Now it's lit again. It's heating up. It's like ramping very oddly. There it goes again. Lights. Up and running. There. The parameter settings of this unit. We can adjust the different phases of ignition. So when we have it set on our minimum 1, right? We are holding a steady low flame, and even when we go up to DMX1, it ramps up to a high fire, and it holds that as well, as you could see. But then once we go into our second stage, which is our min 2, that's when it drops off and it cuts off, which is our dual venturi not working. So we need to replace that. This thing is just one thing after another, after another, after another. It's insane. And you can see we went out. So, this is what I was explaining earlier to the client, that we're just dumping money into a system. And, you know, the second I exit this parameter reading, you can see it went off again. The second I exit this parameter reading, then it's just going to go back to how it was. So gotta order them a dual venturi or replace this whole system. See what they want to do.
Yeah, so I'm not really happy to be honest with you. I can't stand these units. You know, spent an arm and a leg, these clients, on this system, repairing it and doing all these things over the years. And it's kind of just insane to me that, you know, about 10 years in or 11 years in, that it's, you know, in the condition, decrepit and falling apart the way that it is. I mean, you know, we did everything from the flame sensor to the igniter to an annual maintenance, filter cleanings, checking the water column, the gas pressure coming into the unit, to then having to replace a control board which just out of nowhere stopped working. That wasn't cheap. You know, those boards are expensive. To now having to replace the dual venturi on this thing. So I am going later today. We might have that part in stock at our office, 1010 Central Avenue in Woodmere. Gonna check to see if we have it in stock. If not, they are available at our local supply houses on Long Island, so I will order it. I'll touch base with the customer and we'll return a follow-up visit. They did sign up for our maintenance agreement for condensing boilers, which is great because it saved them some money today and it's going to save them money going forward. I told them ideally I would love to just replace the system, but the ship has sailed and we've already sunk money into it, so we're going to do what we can to get it up and running, and then we will go from there. There's no warranties at all left on this thing for any of the components. Even the heat exchanger warranty is completely out of date. So it is what it is. Hit me up at my email, plumguymy@gmail.com, for a free sticker. Shipping them across the country. Shoot me your name, your address. I'll send them out to you. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.